Bitcoin update on the weekly chart going all the way back to 2016, the 2015, 2016 start of the epic bull run move rally. So this is a fractal pattern. So we're going to look at this right now and see where we are comparative to current day. So the Gaussian channel back on the weekly from January 2016, the good old heyday of $300 Bitcoin. We potentially made our low here. We closed back above the median line on the Gaussian channel. Here's our low. We rally up to our previous kind of resistance zone up in here at $450 epic price rally. Then, too much too soon, come back down, form a higher low. And we start to form this, ascending triangle before breaking out months later, right? This started in November of 2015 and did not break out until May of 2016, right? So we formed a higher low. Weeks later, took us back to the same resistance zone after forming a higher low. Right as the Gaussian channel turns green on the weekly, our local low is in and we start to rally back to resistance zone, right? These will be important for current day results, right? So then we reject it again off of the resistance zone, come back, make a higher low, EMA 14 holds, and it takes another several weeks to months to get back up to the resistance zone yet again. Only this time we hold and press for 6 consecutive weeks against that resistance zone. Same resistance zone you hit months earlier. Resistance zone test, resistance zone test, resistance zone test, right? This took a long time. Once the Gaussian channel turned green, how long until we broke out? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let's take a measured move. This is all the way to this candle is 119 days, 17 weeks, right? So I wonder what today's looks like, right? Do we have any potential of rhyming with this? Well, I'm glad you asked again, and let's go take a look-see. So I just so happen to have this drawn up for us. If we were to repeat, started forming our initial resistance zone back in April of 2023, made a high. Here's our first touch, and we start to form this. And now we come back down, make a higher low. So far, right, from our March lows, right? Higher low, ascending triangle potential, right? We're just potential so far because we're only about halfway through if this is going to play out. So again, higher low forms, bounce up after the median test on the Gaussian channel, move up, back to resistance zone, too much too soon, reject it again. As the Gaussian channel turns green, we make a, so far, higher low, right? We don't know yet, but if we're going to, rhyme, I would say in the next handful of weeks, we're going to be back up at this resistance zone around 30 to 31K. Probably too much too soon. Come back down. Maybe we retest this line again somewhere around 28, 29K. Maybe we find a higher low, right? We're looking for a higher low, wherever this is. This might not be the low. The low might actually end up being at, 27.4 and, this time next week or, this time this week, right? Who knows yet? But just giving you some potential signs, right? The Gaussian channel has just turned green. We're starting to rally, looking awful fractally, right? Word of the day, fractally, right? Back to resistance zone. Maybe we reject again, maybe September, find another local low, something like that. Then going back to the resistance zone, hold up here, going into October, November for maybe several weeks, and then punch free. So 118 days, was it? So let's see how long that would take. So 118 days would get us to roughly, Thanksgiving here in the U.S., end of November, right? Start of December. History doesn't often repeat, but it does often rhyme, and it's looking awful rhymey so far. Rhymey, second word of the day. So look at this. Look at this 2016. It's hard to believe that we're looking very similar to this, but I mean, even the lows right above the Gaussian channel, the 2018, 2019 rallies, the prices were 70% above the Gaussian channel, right? Not very similar. Now, 6%. Let's go see what we are now. Is it closer to 60 or 6? Well, as of right now, we're about 4%. As of yesterday, the lows were just a couple percentage away. We're very much more closely rhyming with the 2015, 2016 rallies versus the last cycle, right? So keep that in mind. Ideal scenario for bulls, maybe, right? We'll see if this is going to repeat or rhyme, right? If we're, this time, next week or so, we're back at 30K or 31K. You know, keep this in mind. Don't get too bullish too quick, and don't get too bearish if we go down, right? Until this is broken, right? Until we make a lower low, or, you know, or break this rough trend line. And trend lines are just meant to show you the direction of the trend, right? It's not so important if a horizontal line or a you know, a diagonal line breaks. It's more important if like a horizontal line breaks like this. If a low like this breaks, that's much more important than a, you know, a subjectively drawn diagonal line, right? Because I mean, just put on closing prices. Anybody that's drawing, you know, these diagonal lines, go test them, right? You can. Is it on the closing price, or is it on a wick, or is it on through a candle, right? You don't know. To get the most accurate, you want to put it on closing prices and then draw it from the troughs. The troughs are the bottoms, the peaks are the tops. That's the proper terminology. It's not highs and lows. It's peaks and troughs, right? So maybe now you know a little bit more than you did 30 seconds ago. All right, so wanted to show you that. A little bit of exciting now that we've had a rally. Maybe we'll look at some short-term, you know, through the Telegram. Join us there if you haven't already. Free Telegram. We have a paid Telegram that is, you know, gets, you know, alerts, private requests, all that good stuff, and a lot more content and videos there. Other than that, follow us on Twitter. Put some stuff up there time to time, and I'll see you on the next one. We have our Crypto Fear and Greed Index update has actually gone up since yesterday. I would have thought that would have gone down a bit with our, you know, our kind of our spook move down a little bit back to 28.7, but up 54 now, still in neutral. Altcoin season index up a little bit as well at 29. Quarter of the day. When one must, one can. Absolutely accurate. If you have no choice, you're going to do it, right? Okay, car of the day. AMG GT in the satin paint. This is factory paint finish from Mercedes. And to my knowledge, they're the only people that are doing satin finishes from the factory. I think maybe they're the first, right? I think BMW and Audi are now doing it, but and it's Audi, by the way, not Audi. Shut up. It's Audi. Per Audi, the company. You know, the company Audi. They say it's Audi, so I'm going to go with that. If you're a friend or you say Audi, find a bridge. All right, I'll see you on the next one. Don't do that.